And having gone within into the quietness, you can be aware of what you've been doing unconsciously within yourself that is distorting your experience. And then you choose to be still a moment once again, so that you can set that aside and find yourself truly in the silence, where curiosity can be brought into play, and you can ask God, what would He have you do instead of employing your mind in such a self-defeating way as being angry or saying no, being resistant, and so on, you see?
Thank you. It's
You are
very
welcome.
clear and specific.
Yes.
Thanks, Raj.
And not difficult, not any more difficult than meditation. Meditation is simple, and if it's kept simple, it moves you into the silence. It's easy. You just don't honor the thoughts for the period of time you've chosen to meditate. You tell yourself, I'll deal with those thoughts after my meditation. And you let them be less important than your mantra or whatever the focus is of your meditation. You see? It is simple. Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Hands? Yes, over here on the couch.
My question actually has two parts to it. I'm an educational consultant, and I absolutely love what I do. It brings me great joy, and I've seen wonderful results in this work that I love to share. I live in the old schoolhouse in Hansville, which I have had open as a center for yoga and various activities. And at this point, I'm curious. I want to know where the money's going to come from for my mortgage, which is due on Saturday. As far as the financial aspect of life, it just seems to be a great puzzlement to me. Following my bliss and following my joy, doing this work and living in this glorious place, making it available to people, has not brought in any money at this point.
Just a moment. Are you going to let yourself become distracted from the vision by the appearance of lack?
A couple of weeks ago, it was really dramatic. I mean, I was just immobilized by it, a lot of physical anxiety, and I've been doing my best the last couple of weeks to stay in meditation and yoga and just stay focused on abundance. I've got this abundance mantra I've been using. Bottom line is I've got 5 more days. And, you know, I mean, at this point, if I'm supposed to let it go, then tell me.
It's very simple. Stay with your vision. It's not appropriate to abandon it. You're going to have to ask for help. You're going to have to let others help, support the gift you are making, while the energies reconfigure to identify the need being met. And do not argue against the possibility of the need being met in a completely unreasonable way. This is very important. Your gift is a gift genuinely being made from the very center of you. And it is not appropriate for you to be successfully sidetracked from it by believing that the meeting of the practical need is impossible for any reason. Stay grounded in the genuine gift from which all of this has unfolded. Stay grounded in it. But be practical enough to invite help to get you over the hump, so to speak. This is not the time to abandon the vision. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about a vision, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful to have such and such. The vision I'm talking about is something identical with the movement of the energy of the gift that you have to give. You spoke of it as an educational gift. That movement of what is genuinely you must be the platform, the foundation of where you give your attention. Don't abandon it in preference to fears that your ego or others' egos may be throwing into the mix. You see? Love this emerging movement of your very being. Love it enough not to honor fear more. That's the end of the answer.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
This question plays right into that one, in that Heather and I are in a relationship, and it's a fairly new relationship in that we're still trying to define it.
You're still letting it redefine the two of you.
Perhaps. And from the very beginning, Heather has made it clear to me that she didn't want to involve money in the relationship. She felt that she was clear that money and...
Well, now she has a new clarity.
Okay. Well, that's why I took the mic from her, because my question is it appropriate for me to make the mortgage payments for her until she's able to take the reins in her own hands, or until the universe it takes the reins, or I don't know how to ask it, because, you know...
I understand what you're meaning.
But it's more a question of, I don't want this to turn into a power and control issue. In other words, I've got the checkbook, therefore, you know, you have to do what I say, or she's feeling, well, now I have to treat him a certain way because he's making the payments. You see what I mean? Because we're not married, we're not living together. So I'd like some help on how, number one, if it's appropriate, number two, how not to get into an ego trap.
First of all, you're going to have to let what I said to her be fully absorbed by her, so that she can know whether what I've said is true for her. It is the truth, but whether you can arrive at a point of humility where you can feel that it's true for you. I'm sorry, this is me, Paul. I lost the thread there. Whether you can arrive at that point will not have anything to do with Michael. That's an inner thing. Once you have arrived at that point, then the two of you can talk about this. I will tell you something. Part of waking up has, or shall I put it this way, waking up has nothing to do with becoming so sovereign that you don't need each other. Part of waking up is the essential discovery that you all do need each other completely. That means that you have to learn to dare to let each other in, even with the potentials for control that can occur, because control is everybody's well-developed habit. And you must dare to do it, hopefully, with a commitment to each other that because you do desire to wake up, because you do desire to more fully express what God is, whatever that truly means, that you will do the best with each other, and this is in any relationship, that you will do the best you can with each other to not bring control, means of control into play, and that if you do begin to, you will try to catch it, or you will help each other to catch it so that you can stop it as quickly as possible. If, Michael, she arrives at a point of humility where she can hear what I've said and agree with it, then if she said she was willing to get into the vulnerable place of relating about something that's especially meaningful to her, this work, then it would be appropriate for you to help. And then, if the two of you arrive at that point where you're both agreeable and this occurs, then be sure to communicate with each other a lot, so that old ego habits of freaking out around control issues don't have an opportunity to form and fester because nobody's saying anything to each other. Communicate for the purpose of reassuring each other of where you're really coming from around the issues that you would normally freak out about. Maintain really good communication for the purpose of reassurance. and reassure by being utterly honest. This is the way you love each other through, let us say, the breaking of an old habit. In this case, the breaking of the old habit will be the breaking of the habit of independence. And daring to let the need for each other exist. And then communicating well so that you can discover that it really isn't dangerous to acknowledge the need. You need each other, and it's not, if it is not, let us say, just the two of you who need each other, but the two of you in your own right need everyone else in this room and everyone else on this planet and every one of the brotherhood who are awake and that you're not consciously aware of at the moment, because they are part of the infinitude of you and you're part of the infinitude of them. You need them like you need God. And I will tell you that all of us stand with all of you. All of us who are awake stand with all of you on your behalf to serve you because we love you. And we want you to become unencumbered with your ignorances and your fears so that you might, well, I'll put it simply, so that you might play with us, so that you might be with us consciously in an unconcerned way, in a way that isn't fraught with learning, improving. You need each other because you all are already one and inseparable. And there is a much fuller experience of your oneness that it's your birthright to be experiencing. And it all has a part in becoming fully awake and enlightened. So, because you can't possibly become defenseless against all of the brotherhood all at once, you begin with one other or a few others, one primary relationship, many friendships, where you practice becoming defenseless, where you practice letting in, where you practice feeling your need and not apologizing for it, not being mad about it, not feeling that you're a failure because spiritual sovereignty was the ultimate goal as you had seen it. You must dare to feel your need for each other because it's where the feeling is that constitutes the threshold of moving back into oneness, moving back into unity, moving back into undefended involvement. You know, no matter how far along your spiritual path any of you who are hearing my voice might be at this moment, your way of relating with each other is through means of control. if you want the control that you exercise over each other to be allowed, you find what you call loving ways to express the control. And if you have no finesse, you just do it any way it works. But the fact is that no one of you really dares to entrust yourselves to each other. And yet that entrusting of yourself to another is like plugging the toaster into the socket. What I mean by that is that it's not shocking. What I mean is that a toaster not plugged into the socket cannot fulfill its function. And when need for each other is not felt, the energy for the fulfilling experience of communion cannot occur. And so, no matter how deftly and artistically you manipulate each other into something beautiful, connection still hasn't occurred, because neither one of you has entrusted yourself to the other. Not one of you has really let yourself feel, ooh, nasty word, needy. Until you do, though, the spigot on the faucet isn't open and no water can flow. No love can flow. The experience of communion can't occur. And so you're still alone. You're still experiencing the exact opposite of what the conscious experience of being is. When you allow yourself to feel your need, and when you become less defended, so that you can let someone else in, you become a more wonderful presence for someone else to let in. And becoming undefended together allows a new experience of harmony to come into play, in which neediness doesn't set you up as prey for opportunists, but it sets you up for an increasingly harmonious experience that tends to multiply itself. And grow and bless. But you have to dare to risk the vulnerability that you associate with feeling need and becoming defenseless and letting in that which meets the need. And then, as I said, communicating a lot so that your true motives are being expressed and misunderstanding cannot spontaneously occur, and false expectations based on past history with those you have been in relationship with do not blind you to the something new that may be happening now, and which you've set the stage for by again, daring to feel your need, becoming undefended, letting someone in, and having the opportunity in that communion for the need to disappear because it's being met. Met through togetherness, not met through sovereignty, not met through exclusive sovereignty. Then, instead of being valuable because you were able to be exclusively sovereign, you are able to be successful because you and your brother, being undefended against each other, with honest motives of love, have allowed something to form that blesses both of you, and in your particular case, blesses everyone else who will stand in receipt of the gift that is emerging from you. So, this is very important. Not just for you, but for all of you. We will take a break.